Hello and welcome to TekTalk. This is Jerry Yasir, SharePoint Server MVP, and with me today is...
Hello, I'm Adel Zubeir, I'm Windows Phone MVP, and today we have a special guest.
Yeah, thank you guys, Adel. So, as you know, my name is Wael Kabli. I work as a Microsoft consultant in the consulting services. Mainly I'm focusing on SharePoint and application development activities.
So we have a couple of SharePoint guys and the phone guys. We're not talking about Windows Phone today. So it's all about SharePoint. So hopefully we will add you later. Or if you want, you can get in and talk about SharePoint.
I will definitely be talking about SharePoint.
Okay.
I'll not leave you alone.
Okay. So let's jump into the real talk. Today we'll be talking about, first of all, some general information about SharePoint. What do you think, how much influence does SharePoint have in the Saudi market?
So SharePoint in the Saudi market is booming actually. Almost all the companies I went to is the financial sector, the government, commercial sector, telecommunication. Almost everyone is using SharePoint either for their intranet, extranet, or internal network, or even internet presence.
Wow, so it's just a start. Do you think it's a start, or we are somewhere in progress?
It's actually started with SharePoint 2007,
okay.
And it's actually maturing now more and more.
And how many SharePoint 2010 instances have you seen in Saudi?
At least I did 5 or 6 till now.
That's nice.
But 5 or 6 big projects. For sure, our partners and the other consultants are doing lots of more.
Okay.
Fine. So this is what I think about SharePoint. 2010 has lots of noise and cool features.
Okay.
And the more customers are maturing, the better they're utilizing these features.
So what do you think? What is the best feature that our customers here in Saudi can use SharePoint for? I think it's a tough question.
Yeah, one of the best features are actually almost all customers they like, which is the Office web apps.
Okay.
When you install Office web apps, you get all these people, you get 4 or 5 people collaborating in the same document and the real time.
Okay.
So if you're writing the introduction, I'll be writing on the body, and it says like Jerry is writing here. You cannot edit this part.
Yes,
but we are writing on the same page.
So I think this is the most exciting feature.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that's actually the SharePoint multi-authoring feature, co-authoring, I guess the
co-authoring, yes.
Co-authoring feature, which allows you to modify. I think if we go into details, what are the features of web apps? What about how we co-author the PowerPoint? What do you know?
Sure. So co-authoring will bring you. So let's talk about web apps. Actually,
yes, sure.
in general. So web apps, once you install web apps, it will allow you to open Office documents on the web directly without having the client. Still, you will need the client for full fidelity and all the features, but you will get all this rich editing features on the web. Without ActiveX, without anything, just JavaScripts and HTML.
Wow,
okay,
nice.
So that's a really cool feature there, and it's across all the browsers. That's the second feature. It goes IE and all the other browsers, Firefox, Safari, whatever, you name it. The third feature, which will allow you this co-authoring on real time.
Very nice.
Fourth one will be you can do client or server co-authoring.
Okay.
So you can be working on the Word document. I can be working on the web app.
Yes.
Okay, and at the same time we are doing co-authoring.
Yeah, I think this will be something like a trend change thing. If really people see the real power behind this feature, especially the universities.
Yeah.
I think this is a big way.
I think not only universities that can utilize all these features. I think these things are important for almost everyone. Yeah. Every corporate, every single company.
That's why it's a wow feature for almost every company I visit actually.
We can capture the knowledge actually when we sit in a meeting and everybody's talking about everything. If we really have all the pieces, everybody has one node working in the browser. He can just simply note down something, and we have then a big knowledge workbook in our hand at the end of the meeting, and we don't need to have a special files where people writing MOMs at the end of the meeting.
Exactly.
It can really help, and especially if you have these things in schools or universities where when the teacher is teaching, the student is writing notes. In the end, everybody is writing in one notebook, and it can be huge advantage because you will not miss a single thing that teacher has said.
And actually, OneNote even is supported on the Office web apps.
Yes, sure.
Well, it's one of the Office supported files there.
Very nice. Okay, so no, let's switch back from the good features to something tough.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest challenge you face in working in Saudi, especially on SharePoint?
Okay, that's a good question actually.
Yeah.
Okay, the main pain actually is about how you're deploying your customization on top of SharePoint. My main point, my pain actually with many customers, they deploy customization manually and directly to the SharePoint environment. Either just deploy web parts directly, or even sometimes if better people will do features.
Okay.
But that's still not enough.
Okay.
Okay. What I would love to see, I love people to do solutions, because if you have multi-server farm and you have server A and server B, server C, 3 servers, you need to install the feature on every single server.
Yes, of course.
And if you have multiple versions, you need to update every single version.
Okay.
And if you want to remove them, it's a big headache. So manageability and all this versioning, configuration management is hectic.
Yep.
The solution is actually you need to follow the best practice and you need to use WSP packages.
Yes, sure.
Once you do WSP packages, you can just install it once, deploy it once, it will be deployed on all servers.
The servers. Very
If you
good.
upgrade, it will upgrade all servers. If you retract, it will remove from all servers. So,
yes, true. That's very true.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so that's that's the biggest challenge actually I face in many customers. So if they don't do that, you'll face lots of difficulties inside the web contents, not consistent, different versions, and lots of tough environments.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this is where Visual Studio and 2010 and SharePoint 2010 can help. It stops you from doing these mistakes in early stages. Because when you develop a project, you're already developing a SharePoint solution. So maybe it's about the developers not known, or they think that solutions and features are more complex to build.
It used to be complex actually. So in 2007, we used to rely on developers actually to write the XMLs for features and even to package their own solutions. So to be honest, building a WSP package was something hectic.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
till we had this guy who made something called WSP Builder.
Yes, of course.
Everyone is using his
Using it,
tool,
yes.
is in complex, okay?
Yeah.
But now, the good thing about 2010, you already get that feature in Visual Studio directly.
Yes.
So you get Visual Studio solution, open a SharePoint solution, you get all these features and solutions. You will be able to package multiple features in one solution.
Very nice. That's good. That can solve lots of problems.
So yeah, so everyone, they will follow the best practice anyway.
But this means that your SharePoint administrator will have lots of things to do. When he gets all these WSP, he has to make sure that he deploys it over to the server or the farm.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So that's one of the challenges. What do you think about developing multilingual websites because of Saudi Arabia? People always develop applications on Arabic.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Personally, I have lots of things to say about the Arabic deployments. Any challenge you face, especially when you have Arabic systems?
So two things actually. The main challenge is understanding how variation works.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So variation, for those people who doesn't know, so variation is the SharePoint feature that will allow you to create multilingual sites, and you always have this source site. Okay. Then you have other variation sites.
Okay.
And you always push from the source to the variation sites. Okay. So it's one-way push. Some people doesn't get that. So if they update the English, for example, and your source is Arabic, and if you update the English, they're expecting the Arabic to be updated.
Yes,
and that's wrong.
Yes, okay.
And the other problem is if you're updating the Arabic, you're updating English first, then you're updating the Arabic, then you start pushing the updates.
Yes.
Okay, it will override your updates on the English side.
Absolutely.
So they start facing all these weird problems, and they think somebody is playing with my server.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So that's the first big challenge. The second challenge is for non-Arabic speaking administrators.
Yes, and you will find lots of them.
Exactly.
including myself.
Exactly. In this country and all the Gulf countries actually, we have multinational people working in almost everywhere. The main problem is why do I need to speak the same language for example, if I have an Arabic site, why do I need to speak an Arabic language to administrate that site.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in SharePoint 2007, you don't have any
Yes,
other option.
absolutely.
If you create a site in Arabic, you will administrate in Arabic.
Arabic.
Fortunately, in 2010, we have solved that feature, that problem.
How we did that?
So now you have a feature called it's part of the language tools. Okay. In the site collection level, you just go there and enable the languages. And actually, for administration and even for the menus, everything, you can switch the language for that user only, for the user view. So, for example, I'm English speaker, I'm on Arabic site, I can just go to site actions, change the language, I will change the language.
That's awesome. That's one of the best features I love about SharePoint. Because for me who doesn't understand Arabic, imagine a guy who wants to find a feature called manage features, and it's until I found this feature in the very beginning of SharePoint 2010, I loved that. I said, thanks Microsoft. Immediately I said, because when you go to customers and you find out that the root site collection is in Arabic, you have a trouble. So actually what I did, I created an English-Arabic mapping. So I opened that image on my screen on the right side. So this helps me find.
Believe me, I saw a central admin site even on Arabic.
Yes, absolutely. So I think this is a question, many people ask me this. So let's take this discussion further. Should I install SharePoint? When I install SharePoint on the farm, should I install SharePoint in Arabic as base?
Okay, so first, no, you don't need to install Arabic at base unless you want everything to be in Arabic.
Okay.
So the central administration, everything you want it to be in Arabic, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
But usually to get an Arabic site up and running, you don't need even to have, you don't need to install the SharePoint in Arabic. What you need to do is only install the Arabic language packs. Okay.
Okay.
We need to differentiate between two things: to have the site in Arabic and to have Arabic content. If you want to have an Arabic content, you don't need even a language pack.
Okay.
So it's like opening a Word document and writing English or Arabic, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right? You don't need to have a language pack to write on that document.
Mm-hmm.
Same for SharePoint, you don't need the language pack. When do you need the language pack? If you want to create the site and the experience in that language.
Okay, fine. So this is the, I think, so the output or the main point is that do not install SharePoint in Arabic as a base language. Instead, install SharePoint in English base and then extend it with certain language.
That's a usual scenario.
Yes,
anyway.
that's very
especially when you have lots of other international people coming and interacting with you.
Yes.
You might need to have it in English, so at least with the support people they can.
Yes, they will. It will be very complex for them to find options.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So I think we should go back to the same thing of development.
Okay.
How do you think? Do you find that developers are improving in working on the developing applications for SharePoint 2010? Have you find some difference between the 2007 and 2010?
Now, let me tell you about something a little bit different, which is the developer community in general.
Okay.
So once we brought SharePoint and we tried to introduce SharePoint as the application development platform, people they started resisting a little bit,
Okay.
especially .NET developers, but they are the main audience anyway. So they started developing these applications on top of SharePoint, but then they started hitting walls with SharePoint. They started hitting all these problems like limitations, lots of limitations on SharePoint. What should I do? I cannot do this and I cannot do that. And this problem actually comes because you don't start with the right methodology with SharePoint.
Absolutely, yes.
The right start with SharePoint is you go top-down approach. Okay? So you start by getting your requirement and then look whatever out-of-the-box features can fulfill your requirements.
Okay.
Let's say you fulfilled at least 50%.
Okay.
Then you try to have the SharePoint designer try to fill whatever you like from the SharePoint designer. That will be maybe more 20%. Try to find also other third-party applications like in Codeplex or maybe paid application on other partners. And then whatever the rest will be like 10 or 5%, you start coding it yourself.
Okay.
The reason why I want to do this is we want to make development as rapid as possible.
Okay.
Okay. The very first reason actually why you want to use SharePoint in the first place is not because you know how to do websites or we can do this or this and that. You can always do ASP.NET sites.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the main reason you want to have SharePoint because we already did the work for you. We already did the plumbing work for you. We already did the database connection. We already did web services. We already did security modules.
Absolutely.
And we want you to benefit from those. But if you want to take something ready-made, there is a cost of customization.
Absolutely.
So you need to balance all of these together.
Fine.
If you want something to be up and running today, okay, you need to compromise some customization. If you need something next week,
then it's okay. We can
take
go-
more customization and compromise more features.
Yeah.
And if you need something after 1 year, maybe do ASP.NET and do
do everything from scratch.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And do it the way you like it actually to do.
Okay, now a very big developer question.
Okay.
A person coming into SharePoint world will ask you this question for the first time. I'm developing a new application. Should I use SharePoint list or should I use database?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
That's a very good question. Now, actually, I've posted an article actually once about it, and there was, if you go to the SharePoint even, if you go to Microsoft.com/practices, okay, there is a very big topic about SharePoint best practices.
Okay, yeah.
And one of them was about would I do SharePoint lists or SharePoint databases?
Yes.
And the main answer will be what is the main relation between your data? Do you want to do many-to-many relationship? Do you want to do one-to-many relationship? Do you want to do cascading tables? How complex is your data structure?
Okay.
If it is one table, just go do a SharePoint.
SharePoint, yeah, it will say.
Okay. If it is two tables, come on, do it. If you want to do this multiple and complex queries, and you want to do right join, left joins, all these,
Complex.
Exactly.
Maybe 20 tables working together, you give me one
come
queue.
on, SharePoint lists are not database tables.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you need to go for a proper database model.
Okay.
And to connect with databases, we provided a better means actually. Instead of putting everything in your SharePoint list, we have BCS,
Okay.
which will allow you to connect the databases to web services to whatever you like.
Yes, I think that there will be day we'll be talking about PCS. It's a fantastic feature.
It is fantastic.
So we will look into that. But right now we are time for TekTalk 1 of 2011 is finished. So hopefully we will come again. Thank you, Wael. Thank you, Adel.
Thank you.
So. Thank you everybody, I hope you liked the session. This was basically a very general discussion about what is SharePoint and how we use, what are the challenges we are facing in the Saudi market, as well as how a developer should think when he starts developing applications, plus some questions about how we start SharePoint development.
And
so hopefully, yes?
Yeah, I'm not a SharePoint guy. And
Yeah.
at a point of time, I was thinking that which language are they speaking?
Yeah.
Which language are they talking?
Imagine us talking about Windows Phone core, So we'll talking about Windows Phone later as well.
Definitely.
So we'll have more guests coming, so it's time to say bye. Okay? So
Okay.
see you everybody.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.